In this blessed month, a time of reflection, worship, and seeking closeness to Allah, one of the most powerful acts of worship we can engage in is du'a, the sincere supplication to our Creator. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad strongly encouraged us to make du'a, especially at specific moments when the chances of acceptance are significantly higher. Today, we will discuss 5 such opportune moments that we should never miss. 1. The special hour on Friday. Among the most emphasized moments for du'a is a particular hour on Friday, when any supplication made is granted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Muhammad informed us that every Friday there exists a time when Allah answers the prayers of His servants. However, scholars have differed in identifying exactly when this special hour occurs. The majority of scholars believe that this hour falls between Asr and Maghrib, a time when the day is drawing to a close and when the believer, in anticipation of the sunset, can turn to Allah with sincerity and hope. Some scholars, however, suggest that it might be when the Khatib, the Friday sermon deliverer, sits between the 2 khutbahs, a moment of silence and reflection in the Jumu'ah prayer. Regardless of which opinion one follows, the key takeaway is that Friday is a day of immense blessings and one should maximize their du'a, particularly in the later hours of the day as well as during the Jumu'ah prayer. Imagine the beauty of that moment just before sunset, the sky painted in hues of orange and gold, a believer sitting in deep remembrance, whispering their needs and desires to their Lord, fully assured that their prayers are being heard. This is a golden opportunity we should never neglect. 2. Between the Adhan and Iqamah. The second powerful timing for du'a, as highlighted by Prophet Muhammad, is between the call to prayer, Adhan, and the commencement of the prayer, Iqamah. He said, "The du'a made between the Adhan and the Iqamah is never rejected." Tirmidhi, Abu Dawud. This is a time when a Muslim is already in a state of preparation for Salah, waiting for the congregation to begin. The masjid is filled with an atmosphere of tranquility, hearts are softened, and distractions of the world begin to fade away. This is an ideal moment to raise one's hands and seek Allah's mercy, guidance, and blessings. Many people arrive at the masjid early and use this time to sit idly, engaged in worldly conversations or scrolling through their phones. However, this is actually one of the most valuable moments to make du'a. Instead of wasting it, one should turn to Allah with a humble heart and ask for whatever they desire, whether it be for this world or the hereafter. Even if someone is at home and hears the adhan, they can still pause and make du'a before the prayer begins. These short but profound moments are windows of divine acceptance, and a wise believer never lets them slip away. 3. During the prayer, especially in the Sujood. One of the greatest and most powerful times to make du'a is within the Salah, prayer itself. There are several points in the prayer where du'a is recommended, but the most significant of them all is when a person is in Sujood, prostration. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The closest that a servant is to his Lord is when he is in Sujood, so increase in du'a." Muslim. When we place our forehead on the ground in total submission, humbling ourselves before Allah, we are in the most beloved posture to Him. This is the moment of utmost humility, and it is when our connection with Allah is at its strongest. We should take advantage of this closeness and pour our hearts out to Allah. This is the time to ask for forgiveness, guidance, success, protection from trials, and everything we desire in this life and the next. Many scholars emphasize that while praising Allah in Sujood should be done in Arabic, personal supplications can be made in any language as long as they are from the heart. Besides Sujood, another critical moment for du'a in Salah is before the Taslim, the final salam. This is the time to sincerely ask Allah for all that is in our hearts before we complete our prayer. 4. When breaking the fast. The fourth special timing for du'a is at the moment of Iftar, when the fasting person is about to break their fast. The Prophet Muhammad said, "3 supplications are never rejected: the du'a of a parent for their child, the du'a of a traveler, and the du'a of a fasting person when they break their fast." Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah. Subhanallah. Every single day in Ramadan, we are gifted with this powerful moment right before Iftar. Yet, how often do we waste it in idle talk, distracted by food, or simply counting down the seconds until we can eat? Instead, we should be using these final moments before breaking our fast to turn to Allah in earnest dua. Before picking up the date to break our fast, let's take a few minutes to raise our hands and sincerely ask Allah for what we need. This is a moment of immense spiritual energy, and our prayers are guaranteed to be heard. Whether it is seeking forgiveness, asking for relief from hardship, making dua for our families, or supplicating for the entire ummah, this is one of the most precious windows of acceptance we have each day in Ramadan. Let us not squander it. 5. The night of Laylatul Qadr. Perhaps the most powerful dua of the entire year is the one made on Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree. Allah describes this night in the Quran. The night of decree is better than 1,000 months. Surah Al-Qadr 97-3. The dua made on this night is equivalent to the supplications of an entire lifetime. That is why on this night we are encouraged to spend every moment in worship, prayer, and dua. The Prophet Muhammad taught Aisha a special supplication to recite on Laylatul Qadr. O Allah, you are the most forgiving, and you love to forgive, so forgive me. Tirmidhi. But beyond this, any and every dua should be made on this blessed night. This is the night when destinies are written, and nothing can change destiny except dua. So we must take this opportunity to seek everything from Allah: good health, a righteous life, a successful hereafter, and protection from all evil. This night is worth more than 83 years of worship. If we truly understood its significance, we would not waste even a second of it in anything other than sincere supplication and devotion. Conclusion. These 5 moments, a special hour on Friday, between Adhan and Iqamah, during Sujood at the time of Iftar, and on Laylatul Qadr are among the most powerful times for dua. If we truly value our connection with Allah, we should make it a priority to take advantage of these golden opportunities. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our duas, grant us what is best in this world and the hereafter, and bless us with His mercy and guidance. Ameen. The power and importance of dua in our lives. Now that we have discussed the 5 most powerful times to make dua, let's take a moment to reflect on why dua is such an essential part of our faith. Dua is not just about asking Allah for things, it is a direct conversation with our Creator, an act of worship, and a way to strengthen our relationship with Him. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Dua is the essence of worship." Tirmidhi. This means that at the heart of our servitude to Allah is our constant turning to Him in prayer, in hope, and in need. We acknowledge that we are weak and that we are entirely dependent on Him for everything. Why dua is so powerful? Many people underestimate the power of dua, thinking that it is just words or that their supplications may not be answered. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised in the Quran, "Call upon me, I will respond to you." Surah Ghafir 40-60. This is a guarantee from Allah Himself. He is telling us that if we sincerely call upon Him, He will answer. He may delay it because He knows the best timing. He may replace it with something better for us. Or He may protect us from harm instead, using our dua as a shield. Every dua is heard and every dua is answered in some way. This should give us hope, knowing that no sincere prayer is ever wasted. The best ways to make dua. To maximize the chances of our dua being accepted, we should keep in mind some important etiquettes. Begin with praise and salawat. Start by praising Allah using His names and attributes. Send salutations upon Prophet Muhammad before making your request. Be sincere and humble. Ask from the depths of your heart with full sincerity. Speak to Allah with humility, recognizing that He is the all-powerful and we are in need of Him. Raise your hands. The Prophet Muhammad encouraged us to raise our hands in dua, as it symbolizes our complete dependence on Allah. Use the beautiful names of Allah. Allah has 99 beautiful names, and we should use them in our supplications. For example, if asking for forgiveness, say, Ya Ghaffar, O forgiving one, Ya Rahman, O merciful one, Ya Tawwab, O accepting of repentance, forgive me. Have full conviction. Never doubt the power of dua. The Prophet said, call upon Allah while being certain of being answered. Tirmidhi, repeat your dua often. The more we make dua, the more it demonstrates our persistence and sincerity. The Prophet repeated certain duas 3 times, a powerful technique we can adopt. Be patient and trust in Allah's wisdom. Sometimes we don't see immediate results, but we must trust in Allah's perfect timing. Dua that can change destiny. One of the most incredible aspects of dua is that it has the power to change our qadra, destiny. The Prophet Muhammad said, nothing changes the divine decree except dua. Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah. This means that if something is written for us but we sincerely ask Allah to change it, He may alter our destiny out of His mercy. This is why dua is so powerful. It is not just about asking for things, but about actively shaping our future through sincere supplication. Imagine if a person is destined to go through hardship, but they consistently make dua for ease. That dua could be the very reason Allah removes that hardship from their path. The dua of the righteous is never wasted. The Prophet Muhammad told us about the special power of dua made by certain people. Among those whose duas are always accepted are a parent's dua for their child. Parents should regularly make dua for their children's success, righteousness, and well-being. A traveler's dua. Whenever we are on a journey, we should take advantage of this special time to ask for our needs. The dua of the oppressed. The Prophet said that even if the oppressed person is not a believer, Allah still responds to their supplication. This shows us how merciful Allah is. He listens to the cries of those who are suffering, and their dua becomes a weapon against injustice. Examples of powerful duas from the Quran and Sunnah. To make our duas even more impactful, we can use some of the most powerful supplications from the Quran and Sunnah. 1. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Tirmidhi. 2. Dua for guidance. My Lord, expand for me my chest and ease for me my task. Surah Taha 20-25-26. 3. Dua for protection from hardship. O Allah, I seek refuge in you from anxiety, sorrow, weakness, and laziness. Bukhari Muslim. 4. Dua for strength and patience. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Surah Al-Baqarah 2-250. Final thoughts. Never underestimate the power of dua. As we go about our daily lives, let's make it a habit to turn to Allah frequently. Whether we are facing difficulties or experiencing moments of joy, dua should be a constant part of our routine. Let's remind ourselves of the 5 golden moments for dua. The special hour on Friday between the Adhan and Iqamah. During Sujood and Salah at the time of Iftar on Laylatul Qadr. These are times when Allah's mercy is overflowing and our prayers have a higher chance of being accepted. Let's not miss out on these divine opportunities. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our duas, grant us all that is good in this world and the hereafter, and make us among those who never cease to call upon Him with sincerity and faith. Ameen.